Hello everyone, I'm Chloe and I've been a K-pop fan since 2010. Sometimes I make grammar mistakes and I have problem express myself. So I don't know how this video is going to end. I always wanted to do this type of video, but I don't have a lot of time. But also I don't know if, and like I said, since I have problem express myself, like I will just maybe do from time to time talking briefly about some K-dramas just to give my maybe first opinions or last thoughts or I don't know. Maybe someday I'm going to do this weekly, but for now I'm just like going to talk about some of my thoughts of some dramas, if I watch it or not, or if it's on my to watch list. Like it's just come spontaneously. Like I was like, okay, let's give this a try. So I don't know from which dramas to start. Like I think from some summer dramas, maybe. But also I've started to watch K-dramas actually before listening to K-pop since like 2009, and I've watched a lot of drama. Also, there's going to be spoilers, and spoilers. First, King the Land with Junho and Yona. It wasn't a bad drama. I really enjoyed the first episodes because like I love both Yona and Junho, and I was so excited to see them paired in a drama. So I was like, okay, I'm in. And I must say there was the subplot of Junho dealing with his family and how he's going to go with the the hotel, I guess his sister, and I didn't care about that plot line. I was like, evil sister, fight for who's going to be in charge of the hotel. I was like, And like the first episodes are funny, and it's also funny to see how Junho realized that he likes Yona and he's trying to woo her. At first, like I think he just didn't get right advice from his assistant. Like that actor, he's doing an amazing job when he's acting in comedy. So I think he was the most funniest in the whole drama. And then we have the plots of Yuna's friends. Okay, since I'm doing this just on the top of my head, like I really don't look up like the characters' names because also I don't know how to pronounce them, so it's like why when I try, maybe next time. But like I was saying, Yona friends storyline sometimes also I was like, the flight attendant storyline was, I really love it. And also seeing a lot of what's behind the scenes in a lot of service industry, should I say. Most of the time you have, I don't know, harassment or how, like for example with the flight attendant, how they had to be a certain weight, and that toxicity, and if you wear a tiny bit of weight, you were like, oh, are you doing your job well? So that's what wasn't that, it's not that great, but it happens a lot of times. And then her other friend, which was the working in the shop as a person seller, how do you say in English? And also seeing how they are treated, their customers who think they are beyond everything, and like that's stuff that happens in a lot of like the serving industry, serving services. How do you call it in English? Like I have no idea. but you also have some they still didn't put a lot of attention on how the service goes, but just like sometimes this happens, and then you go back to the romance and comedy. For example, the flight attendant romance was cute. Don't remember if her love interest was younger, but I really enjoyed that storyline. The other friend storyline with her husband, and I was like, oh my god, the husband and his family. I was like, girl. Like, it was so annoying expecting everything to be made for him, and I just skipped a bunch of the drama. And then, like I said, at first I enjoyed, but with the more I was watching, like, somehow the relationship was progressing amazing, but I started to lose interest in it. Maybe I got a tiny bit bored, and I don't know why. I love romantic comedies, and Yona and Yunho had amazing chemistry, and I really love them, but I don't know, it just, maybe I found it tiny bit bland. It's not that I want action-packed drama all the time, or thrillers or crime drama, because sometimes I can't deal with them. But I don't know. It looks like the story wasn't really advancing. Like, I don't know. Most of the second plot were just like second thoughts, like the fight for the hotel. I don't know. I find it boring a tiny bit, but I also like that there really wasn't a real breakup. Like, they worked through it, and at the end Yona has found what she wants to do, not to just be like a hotel concierge. That's how you pronounce it. Like, she wanted to make her own tiny hotel where she brings happiness, and I love that. Not just always her world revolving around her love life. Like, she had dreams and she went for them, so I appreciate that. Second, see you in my 90th life. I can pronounce 90th. I really love that drama from the start to the end. I didn't have any bored moment. I've enjoyed so much. I love fantasies, and I also love Shin Hye-seon. Shin Hye-seon. Oh my god, I can never pronounce the names. She's one of my favorite Korean actresses. I just love her. I don't know. I've watched, I think, a lot of the dramas when she was still doing secondary characters, and then seeing her getting more and more dramas, and now becoming like the main character and having these all amazing dramas. Like, I don't know. I just love her. And also An Byung-hyun, like, when I saw the combination, I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Like, okay. And then here just notice that it's a girl that remembers her past lives. And I love it. And the more you go for the drama, like, you have pieces and like glimpses of what happened in her other lives. And also what was interesting, that normally they will put like the character being reborn in the same country. Like, they're always maybe from Joseon to, I don't know, along the life of the Korean history, but in this case it was like all over the world, and that was incredible. Like, it wasn't like she always was Korean, like in all her past lives, and I love that so much about it. If it was accurate, like, I don't know, but I just love it. And like I said, through the episodes you see more of her life, and then you also like have theories of why she could remember all her past lives, and I just enjoy it. Also, Shin Hye-sun character, like, at first it was like she's an oddball, but like seeing that she remembers all her characters, all her past lives, and she still has all the skills that she acquired in the past lives, and like how she used them even in the present. Like, for example, when she was like protecting An Byung-hyun's character from a douche, like she would use like the flamenco dance moves, and that was so funny, and I just love it. But the tiny bit that I really like I think it's normal, but sometimes I was like, it's like seeing people in her 80th past life, seeing her in her 90th life, and how they see a characteristic that she had in the past life, and then they become super confused. And like sometimes I found really lovely, but sometimes I was like, is An Byung-hyun characters falling in love with her 90th life, or with the image that she has from her 90th, 80th life? Oh my god, I can't pronounce it, and I think I've complicated. That sometimes I didn't really like it. Also, it was another drama that has a storyline about a hotel. Again, how is going to be in charge of the hotel? The fight between An Byung-hyun and the lady, which is like vacation character. Like, I don't know why it was her deal. Like, she just wanted power. That's it. And I really also didn't care about the hotel storyline that much. I was more intrigued on why she remembers her past life. The female lead, why she remembers all her past life and what happened. I had something urgent to do, so now I forgot everything that I said until now and everything that I wanted to say. So I think that the last thought is going to be left in the air. So I think I was with the line that them making a juxtaposition between the current female lead and her last life, which they remembered very well. I'm surprised, but also at the same time, if you love someone a lot and even after they passed away and it's like 20 years, like, you still have memories because they made an impact in your life. Like, that's, I understand very well. Like, for example, I lost my grandparents that they raised me until I was like 15. So my grandpa died when I was 14, and that was a very, 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 very hard hit for me. And a few years later, my grandma passed away. And even if it's been more like a lot of time, like maybe, and I still remember almost all of the stuff that I've done with my grandpa, and all the adventures that we went through. So like, I understand them. Even if they were young, they still remember very well the female lead, because they made an impact in their life and they loved her so much, and you always going to remember. And I also understand them being confused because it's a person that they loved so much, and after years they still more or less come to the not the conclusion, to accept that she passed away, and I mean, I'm being her character and her sister, and like seeing again someone that it's very similar to the person that they knew that also passed away, like they also very confused, and it's the first thing that you think of is like they look up info about our life, and she wants to get close to us because, like, I don't know, stuff, uh, I don't know, money or whatever, are having fun just because it's fun to make fun of other people. I don't think that made sense. So like, I understand that confusion, seeing traits from someone that you loved again in another person and being confused. And then like Shin Hye-sun character like being happy, reconnect, reconnect. Oh my god, English is hard, okay? I have problem pronouncing it. I'm good with listening, with reading, like amazing I'm doing here. Speaking, composition, that's another stuff. Like I'm never good in any language to do composition. But even the female lead was happy reconnecting with her loved ones in her last life, and like being happy that they are fine and spending more time with them, and then coming another person, which I will see you. What's the name of your actor? Lee Chae-min. Lee Chae-min. I don't know. Was my brain was Lee Min-jae. Like him coming suddenly into their lives and saying like, you have to go away because you're reconnecting with them. It's going to affect their lives, and it's like heartbreaking that at least you connected with those people, but now because of your, let's call it a tiny bit of selfishness, like the other person are going to suffer. Like that's a hard hit. Like I just wanted to reconnect. Why do they have to suffer for this? And also what I wanted to say about the female lead, that not she was in different countries, but she was different genders. Like not only she always was a woman, she was also a man. So that was also awesome. And seeing the story from her 17th 17 life, and seeing her papa, how do you say, not nephew, niece, now a grown adult, and like she had so much love for Shin Hye-sun character, not just because it was her uncle in a past life, but also she basically raised her, because even though like her mentality was very adult like, but physically she was still a kid, so there was more like taking care of like school and making money and take care of her food. Like it's more to that just it's more of that, because like she was a kid, like I couldn't do anything. So feeling the connection and that love between them, like they're always being such a strong knitted family, like I really 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 love that. And also at the same time, the female lead relationship with her sister, which it was very warm, and I really really enjoyed it. Like she found a connection, and then suddenly that strong connection, that feels that they have for her family being like stripped off. I think it's going it's very heartbreaking. But all the actors have done such an amazing job. Like, I enjoyed the drama so much. Like, seeing suddenly being mysticism in it, like legitimate characters like being like, let's call it shaman, that just suddenly appears and is like, hold these bells and you going to know why you remember all the past lives. And there's the point where a lot of people thought that the story was underwhelming, because when you see why that happened and people are like, oh, just because of that, but you have to understand that for Shin Hye-seon character, her sister was the most important being for her, and like she would do anything to save her. Like, and I know that bells were sacred and she shouldn't touch them, but at the same time, the punishment was too harsh for it, like killing her sister, which was her entire world, and suddenly seeing that being stripped away, like at that moment you're going to have a lot of resentment. At that moment you're not going to think it was my fault. You think you killed her just because of that. You could have just, I don't know, other punishment, but why killing her? So like a lot of people really didn't understand those emotion, that strong emotion that happened then. Like in the moment you don't have rationality, you just see your sister kill, like you only have revenge in your brain. Like you don't think like, I was the one who's done something wrong, or like it wasn't that much, so like why do you kill her? So for some people, like I said, it was like underwhelming, so they were just for that, like she deserved it. But I'm of an opinion that yes, he was too harsh, and yes, that they could have just, I don't know, prison, punishment, or whatever, going to another part of the country, or exile them, but not kill them. And also seeing the connection from most of the characters in this life, which I don't think they've met until the 90th life, because from the first life, on the first life, they most of them were together and somehow have connections, but they didn't meet again until like the 90th life, and that was maybe the perfect timing. And the connection between An Bi-hyun and Shin Hye-seon, oh my god, I can pronounce them. Shin Hye-seon, oh my god, I can't pronounce Korean. That's why I don't think even if I learn them, I will be a bad time for me, because my mouth can pronounce. But like I was saying, the connection between An Bi-hyun and Shin Hye-seon, like at the moment, wasn't that strong, but especially for the female lead, I think the male lead maybe had some sort of crush or appreciation for her. And the last scene that you see where she, like, the confrontation, it was sad, tragedy, but also very beautiful, just because of when they are on the bridge and you see that I don't think they're fireworks. That cinematography for me was so beautiful. Like, I love that. It was again tragic but beautiful, just because of the environment, of the colors, of the emotions that they were in there. like holding on that belt and saying like, I'm not going to forgive you. I'm going to remember this grudge and I will still have it for the next lives, which it became true. Maybe she forget that first life because she had too strong emotion associated with that life, so that's maybe she forgot everything, and that's why the bell helped her remember everything. Because that was the catalysm of that everything that happened. Um, and I also loved when people say that. Yeah, no, I mean there are a lot of people after the revelation came out, and you see the preview that Shin Hye-hyun is going to Lee Jin-min's character and saying like, I'm not going to forgive you. Like and people were like, oh, even now she's not going to forgive him. Like that's unnecessarily. But I was 100% sure that she is going to forgive him, and he's saying like that was happened in the first life. The grudge, it passed over. Like it's been 90 lifetimes. Like it's time to bury that connection, that not connection, that hate, and we can just move on. And that happened, and like I knew it, maybe because I watch too much dramas and sometimes I'm just can guess, but only just sometimes but I thought seeing how Shin Hye-sun character was until then, like I was for sure that she's going to forgive him. Also, another character that was reborn was An Bo-hyun mother, which that was unexpected. But in her case, like I think her main reason was protecting her son. But after she achieved it, we get to like the last part in conflict, forgetting your past lives so you can move on to the future and bury all the remorse and tragedy and step on the new path, like a new how do you say, step in your life. I don't think that's how you say it. And like for that to happen, they must forgive all of their lives, forget all of their lives, and it's like the last conflict. Do I still stay? I remember all of them, but the consequences is that all of them are going to suffer, or I'm just going to forget all of them, not so that they could be safe. And then you see, and that's what Shin Hye-sun character has done. Like she chose to forget everything, to stop all this not connection, these whole bad feelings, just leave them behind, stopping all these reincarnations and move forward for a better future for everyone. And I saw a lot of comments that was like, not necessarily that was like, why did she have to forget everyone, but if she forget everyone, how the other people are going to forget her. But like that was already explained like in the 11th episode, if I remember correctly. Like I don't know, when Shin Hye-seung goes back and see An Bo-hyun's mother's, like her reincarnation, when she forgot everything, like she was free, but like she didn't remember her, but the female lead remembered An Bo-hyun's mother. So we already knew that even she forgets everyone, everyone is not going to forget her. Do I make sense? Like, that was already explained. The one that's going to forget all the memories is the one that had suffered enough and has gone through all this past reincarnation. And even there was another how do you say it, at the end, where even if you forget her past life, she still had the skills that she acquired from the other lives. But there are a lot of cases where are people who forget the memory, but they still have all the skills that they've accumulated through their life. Like, they still know all the acknowledgement that they had. The only thing that they forgot are just memory of people. Like, that happened a lot on amnesia cases. So her remembering skills, like, she already have that set of skills. Like, she forgot the people in her life, not her skills, because it's already ingrained into like muscle memory, and it's a different side of brain that deals with memories. Do I make sense? Like, I will have to go very in deep, because the brain, it's very, very complicated and mysterious, and like, I'm not going to give now a neuroscience class. Even I just know not that much, mostly because I had a class in university, like, but it was how the brain works in language, because that's what I was doing. It's sad that she forgot all of them, but after, but they still made connection with her again, and in the future they're going to be her for her. It's going to build new relationships, and I think it's still great, and it's still a very good ending. Like, I have no complaint. Like, that was my understanding of the plot. So in the end, I loved everything. Like, maybe in my understanding of the situation, maybe that's why I like it. Maybe I just gaslighting myself. No, not gaslighting. Hypnotize myself that these were the reason that stuff were happening and why people have done that. I sometimes I think too much and put myself in different situations, so I suffer with the characters also. So maybe that's why I don't know. I think this is part one, because I talked for more than an hour and a half, and I've talked about 4 dramas, and I was like, I'm going to do like a brief video, but it's come too much. Maybe I babbled and I didn't make any sense. So maybe I'm still going to record, but I don't know when the others are going to come out, because there's still some dramas that I want to talk about. I was like, I'm going to talk about like 10 minutes about each drama, and then I talked and talked and talked. Maybe if I cut more, I don't know. So that's it. If anyone watching to the end, thank you very much, and bye bye.